Mark Kanty here with Release Dynamics. Just thought I'd play around here with a Google Live for a few moments. I'm not sure if anybody's even on, but this is a spontaneous response to a video that I recently got. I received this on the weekend and did a quick review of it today, and it was a lovely little video that I said, hey, here are my observations. First of all, your video was fantastic. You start with questions, which basically engage people and get them interested in what you're talking about in your topic. Also, many of those questions the answer was yes, so that's even better to get somebody engaged on a positive note. Here are some of the refinements that I said to the video, though. One of the things I noticed was in the closing of the video, this gal said, hey, get in touch and let's talk about what's going on for you. And I thought that was terrific. But the problem there wasn't an alignment with the video itself. There wasn't the slide didn't have the contact information on there. In fact, all it had on there was a URL to a website. So there's a bit of a disconnect there. So my suggestion was, hey, it would be good to have specific contact info on those slides. So like an email or even a link to a calendar, because that's what she was calling out to do. She was saying, hey, why don't we talk about this? Well, make it simple, make it easy for people by giving them that information, by saying, hey, here's where you go to set up an appointment so that we can have a quick chat about this and see if I can help you solve your problem. And there are ways to do that aren't difficult to do, that are user friendly, so you don't have to have these ugly long URLs that people go to, but something that's really simple that says, hey, free advice, or let's chat, or something like that. The other concept, though, that I wanted to bring up and really highlight in this Facebook Live is this idea of, instead of thinking about content as a standalone thing, as something that, hey, I created a video, hey, I created a blog post. What I'd like to encourage you to do, and anyone watching or listening, is instead pause for a moment and think in terms, pull back and think larger, think in terms of a campaign. So if you're addressing a particular problem or a conflict, then you want to identify that up front and think about this as a campaign, so that people who are looking for a solution actually come to you and will be attracted to you because you have and know something to do about that. So map out a content plan that will address the issue. What is the issue that you're talking about? What content can you create around that issue that will bring a solution? So content might include video, but it also might include blog posts, even a slideshow, a podcast, case studies. I could go on and on and on. Remember that your content needs to follow a formula. It needs to paint a picture, and it needs to lead people through a process, if you will, where they can see themselves in the conflict. They're stuck and they don't have a solution. That's why we're here as coaches, is to help people get through this stuckness, something that they can't solve on their own, so they need to go external to get some support. So be specific and really call out, what is that issue? What is that conflict? It could be struggling with achieving a goal, or it could be stuck with a problem that they just can't solve. Whatever it is, call it out and be very specific about it. The second part is present your solution. Let them know that, hey, I've been there, done that, or I've worked with people and helped them through this problem too, and there is a way, there is a solution to your problem. Third is you want to persuade. So you want to convince them that, yeah, there is a connection between their conflict and the solution that you're presenting. And that's going to require a little bit of persuasion, because people naturally are skeptical. They're naturally going to say, nah, my problem's a little different, or no, that solution doesn't really resonate with me. So you need to go a little deeper. You need to connect the dots for people in your story and make sure that you're persuading. And fourth, is commitment. There has to be some closure to all of this. And what is that closure? This is the engagement. This is, what do you want somebody to do as a result of this? Don't just leave them hanging, but say, hey, here's the problem. Do you identify with this problem? Here's a solution that I've presented that's worked really, really well. Here's how those connect and how it can work for you. And now, what do you want to do about that? Do you want to just leave it? Do you want to stay stuck forever? Or do you want to do something about it? If you want to do something about it, give me a call, or book an appointment on my calendar, or visit this particular webpage that I've created that has a solution to it. So you want them to take action. So By taking action, that last step, you've got somebody revved up, you've got them believing in possibility, that there's a solution that's possible. It's right there in front of them. Now, this is critical. You've persuaded them to take action and they're ready to go. But what is that action? Are you making it really easy? So for example, if you do want them to set up a time to speak with you, make that seamless, make that really easy. Can they click on a link? Can they easily copy down a URL where they can go to an appointment calendar? Think this through. How can you do it that keeps their enthusiasm and their hopes high so that they get that "I can't wait to talk to you" feeling? What does that look like? So again, a user-friendly link to your calendar. Now, another thing you can do to basically make sure that you're reaffirming and confirming that you know what you're talking about and that you're really connected with this person is to put in another step in there, an assessment step, maybe a little survey or a little questionnaire, just a few questions that confirm that you're on the right track, that you're getting the right information from them. So you want to go through and maybe ask 3, 4, 5 questions, a brief little assessment, just to let them know, hey, I understand and I want to understand more about you. One final note on this, and that's when you're leading somebody to a digital platform, when you're leading them to a specific place online, it needs to be on topic. So you want to make it part of the story, or part of your campaign. So if you're leading someone somewhere, make sure it makes sense. So let's say that the problem is my dog is barking and I don't know what to do about it. And you present a solution and you make an offer to help them with this issue. And that offer is to read this blog post that you've created, which is how to solve the problem of your dog barking all the time. Then when they click on that, don't take them to a generic website. That website, if there's a total disconnect, if all of a sudden I click on that and I go to Mark's Dog Bites website, buy my great dog biscuits, it just doesn't make any sense. There's a total disconnect and you've lost me. And you've really ruined all the rapport that you've built out. So at that point in time, if you are going to send me somewhere and you're going to send me to a specific platform or a landing page or website, make sure that it resonates, make sure that it follows through on the story. So wherever I go in that particular situation, I want to immediately recognize that as part of the solution for me. So for example, the heading might say, hey, you've arrived. Here's all you need to know about stopping your dog from barking. Now I've completed, I've followed through so that they're in the right place. And I'm building a relationship by doing this, by not saying this and then taking them somewhere else. So coming back to this idea, again, I'm just kind of rambling here about creating content on purpose, is that you want to look at it in a broader perspective. So to recap, think of your content as something that has a purpose to it with a beginning and an end. And better still, think of it as a campaign. So there might be layers of content, and very often there are, particularly when you're dealing with complex subject matter. If you have a complex problem or you have a very large goal, then it's going to require a number of layers of information. So you want to tackle it from different angles and think of it as a campaign that's going to lead people from a beginning right through to the end. What's the end? The end is taking action, but specifically the action you want them to take. So I hope you enjoyed this little ramble about creating content on purpose, and hopefully you don't even perceive it as a ramble, but you get some value from it. Leave some comments if you would. I'm on Facebook Live right now. I don't believe anybody's on here with me, but you'll see the recording for this. So please follow up and leave your comments about creating content on purpose. Thanks again, and this is Mark Kanty with Release Dynamics. You can catch me at releasedynamics.com, and of course that's a generic website. And if you're looking to upscale your business, send me an email, mark@releasedynamics.com. I look forward to chatting with you. Also, leave a comment too, and then that way we can create a dialogue here on Facebook. Talk to you soon.